Hey, got a minute to help me solve a problem that you might have? And let's face it, that's all I'm about. I think that's all you're about. No matter what business you're in, you solve problems for people. So let's give you some real problem-solving solutions in booking speakers. Yes, now I'm not talking about those things that you put in the corner that are loud. I'm talking about actual speakers at conferences. So I know that, listen, 29, close to 30 years, veteran on stages, local, international. I've learned a few things. So let me just give you my take on a couple of things for you to look out for when booking a speaker. I think the first question really is, should we have a speaker at our next conference, event, Bosbarat, management meeting, company meeting, staff get together? And the answer is obviously yes. Now, for a couple of reasons. First of all, the industry, the speaking industry, the AV industry, the venues industry has basically been shut down for 2 years. And let me tell you, it's been tough for speakers out there. And I'm not even speaking about myself now. I'm saying I think it's time, as we supported restaurants and as we supported hairdressers and bottle stores. And it's amazing when people get locked down, all they wanted to do was smoke and get drunk. We did, and it has come back. The whole eventing industry has really been hurting, and the speaking industry and the AV industry has hurt. So when even asking the question now, should we have an external speaker? Should we have a professional speaker coming in? Be it whatever their discipline is, my advice is obviously yes. Number one, to give back and rebuild that part of our economy. But more importantly, and remember, this is not booking me, this is go out and book speakers, okay? The guys and the girls need the work, number one. But more importantly, I think they actually want to help. They want to actually help you through this time. What does an external speaker give you that internal speakers don't? Well, first of all, it's a different voice. In other words, it's an external voice saying things that, who knows, maybe the MD, the CEO have been saying all along. But when it comes from an external person and delivered in a fun way with stories and anecdotes and hopefully a bit of fun, it almost hits home even more. But it also confirms what the CEO or manager or whatever was actually saying in the first place. So it's not just like a one-sided. The same old thing is when you tell your son or daughter to do something, they don't do it. As soon as an external person says exactly the same thing, they do it. So that's a real benefit of getting an external voice. Also, it adds a bit of pizzazz. It adds a little bit of fun. It breaks the monotony. Remember as well that these speakers that you book can make or break an event. That's why I think it's so important that I put these things out. Remember, a bad speaker can totally destroy your event. A good speaker can not only enhance it, but can add value by allowing the person to leave that venue. And the last thing they thought about was that experience that they had or that moving thing that they had. How do you use these speakers? Simple. You can either use them to open up the conference. That's basically to set the tone. I know I get used a lot to go in and set the tone of the conference, especially when they don't want a standard conference. They need engagement and fun and that type of stuff. They call me in to open the conference. Sometimes, if it's a real technical conference and there's a lot of work and a lot of technical stuff going on, and a lot of nuts and bolts, you bring the speaker in the middle of the day. What that does is it breaks up the day. Just before the lunch, it breaks up the day, refreshes their mind. Or alternatively, you can do it at the end of the conference or the day. What that does is it basically sends people away with a positive message. So you can top, tail, or put it in the middle. Hey, wherever you use them, you use them. Okay? So listen, should you book a speaker? Absolutely. Why should you book a speaker? Because they're going to add some serious value and make that whole event that you were spending tens, some hundreds of thousands of rands on, make it actually have some kick and some punch. Next one I'm going to be talking about is where to look for these speakers. But right now, get to work.